Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, I was in the shower just a little while ago, and while I was in there, I was washing my hair, all this hair, shampooing it, and a thought popped into my mind, as thoughts do. Remember, our mind is designed to generate thoughts, just like our heart is there to beat and pump blood around us, our body. Our lungs' purpose is to breathe. Our mind's purpose is to take everything that's gone into your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, touch since your birth, even since before your birth, because you've been recording stimuli, probably from long before you were born. And I mean, what I mean is, like, in the 9 months that we started to develop. But anyway, I digress. The purpose of the mind is to think. So don't blame your mind. Don't give it a hard time. That's just what it's there for. It's up to you if you want to put your attention on it or not. And it's up to you what sort of thoughts you want to put your attention onto. But anyway, let me continue. So, I was in the shower. I had a thought that popped into my head. And the thought was, I remember going to the theater with my brother, my family. A few years ago, we used to do that quite a lot. I love going to the movies. And I love being in a nice big theater. And here in California, there are some really amazing ones. Anyway, so the thought popped into my head. And then I felt sad. Okay, but immediately became aware of what was going on. So I became aware, and then I giggled, and then I remembered, why these things happen, why you feel sad, why you know, a memory that's a good memory like that make, makes make you feel sad. Why? Because that memory, what you were doing then, was maybe better than what you're doing right now. So me being in a theater with my brother has moved now to New York with his wife, so we don't get to do that as often. So when that memory comes into mind of being in the theater, it's an awesome memory. It's a fun memory. It's awesome, and at that moment in time, it's better than, or I enjoy that memory, or I enjoy that experience more than being in the shower and washing my amazing hair. Okay, so um, for those of you who have been watching my videos, you will know that what causes suffering is comparing. When you compare where you are now with a thought of something better. Okay, so basically it's when you are thinking of what you don't have, okay, rather than what you have. So if a better thought makes me feel sad, then what would make me feel happy? Obviously the opposite. A thought of, hey, imagine if I lived in somewhere that didn't have water. you know that immediately makes me feel grateful that I'm in the shower. Or I could think, you know, um, imagine there was no hot water, okay, and I had to take a shower with cold water. Those are just two examples, but there are hundreds and thousands that, I could have thought of. The problem is that the majority of people will be in the shower, and a thought like the one that I had would come to mind, and then they'd feel sad, but then the awareness wouldn't be there, and then they would continue thinking, oh, yeah, oh, those times are gone, mm, never gonna have those times again. And then you get wind up being hijacked, okay, by thoughts. Because remember, the mind's purpose is to create just thoughts. And it will create all kinds of thoughts based on your life and what you're experiencing. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having thoughts that make you feel sad or having thoughts that make you feel angry. That's just normal. It's a sign of being healthy. It's a sign that your mind is working very well. Okay? Or it's, generating thoughts in the way that it should be. The problem develops when I don't stop thinking about that thought that's creating suffering. And then what can happen if I indulge that thought too much and I'm still thinking about it out of the shower, you know, what can happen is my mind can make a habit of that thought, of thinking that thought. Okay? So awareness is so important because it's what will allow us to ask the important question that is, does this serve me? And this is, I recorded a video yesterday that I wasn't very happy with. Just wasn't feeling it. At the moment, I'm working with more people than I've ever worked with. So at the moment, I've been coaching, about four or five people. A few of them are long-term people now who've signed up for long periods of time, and it's important for me that I'm giving my all into every session. So what I'm noticing is that when I do give my all into these sessions, then when I sit down to make a video, there's a different I want to also give my all in these videos as well. So I made a video yesterday, but I didn't feel like my all went into it. I had just wrapped up a bunch of sessions, and um, yeah, I guess I needed to just re-energize first before making a video. But I might go ahead and post it up anyway because there's some things in there that I think you guys might find interesting. Um, so I'll go ahead and do it. Yeah, just excuse the delay sometimes with the videos because I want to put my all into these. Um, so yeah, remember, yes, the root of suffering comes from comparing. Okay, comparing what? Comparing thoughts. Comparing where you are now with a thought, and that thought can be a thought of the future. In other words, where you think you should be, or what you think you should have, in the future. Or it could be a thought of the past, what you had. Like my thought of the theater with my brother was a thought of what I once had. Okay? So, different thoughts. This is why, some thoughts are bittersweet, are melancholic, right? The reason why is because, yes, they're happy thoughts, but in comparison to what you are doing at that exact moment, they could be happier than the moment you're having right now. Okay? So that comparison, that comparing will make you feel, the thought is better than what I have now. I want that thought, you know? So you're gonna feel like just, I want that thought. I'm not happy now. I'm not happy with where I am because that was better than where I am now. And that's when counterbalancing is so important because counterbalancing, it's a technique that I use with a lot of my clients. I use it myself in life. It's become a really important part of the way I live. When a thought comes in that creates a feeling, negative feeling, whether it's sad, you shouldn't call it negative, but a feeling that maybe doesn't serve you. That's a better way to put it. When you feel in ways that, feelings that aren't serving you, whether it's anger, sadness, whatever, it could even be happy, but that happiness is not serving you at that particular moment in time. Maybe you're tied up and there's a guy who's pointing a gun and says, if you laugh right now, I'm going to shoot you. So happiness in that moment will not be serving you. So, but that is a very rare example. But the point is that um, the way that we counter it is by feeling grateful, all right? By generating gratitude within you. And one way of generating gratitude is to think of counter thoughts to the thought that you had. Like, oh, well, yeah, that was a great memory that I shared with my brother, but there's going to be even more amazing memories to be made ahead. And we're going to be doing those same things, but even better. Okay? So that's an example of a counter thought, a positive counter thought. But the whole countering process is it's simple, but it's important. Every step of it is important. The first step of the countering process is to ask the question, does this thought serve me? Okay? And you know what? In rare occasions, the thought might serve you, but maybe once or twice. You know, for example, if I'm going to go into a situation and fear arises within me and it generates thoughts of past similar experiences that hurt me, okay, well, those thoughts that are creating that fear, I could say, hey, well, is this helping me right now? It's making me nervous, it's making me anxious, it's kind of not allowing me to like flow and do my best because my mind is getting in the way of me. But maybe it's good for me to give my attention to that thought once or twice because it's there to try to help, right? It's there to inform me and to prepare me and to protect ultimately. But I don't want to dwell on that thought. And that's the problem most of us have, is that we wind up dwelling. We wind up having the thought not just once or twice, but over and over again for days and weeks and months. And the danger is that the more and more you have those thoughts, the more of a habit they become, and the more you strengthen that way of thinking, you know? So it's so important for us to have some awareness in life. We have a muscle within us that's called awareness. Most of us, that awareness is pretty much asleep. And, you can strengthen your awareness in many ways. Meditating is an incredible way to strengthen your focus and your awareness, okay? Because when you meditate, you're basically doing absolutely nothing and observing. Nothing but observing. Observing everything that arises. Not just things around you, but things from within you. How you feel. Do you feel warm, cold? Are there thoughts that you can be aware of? So we can strengthen our awareness in many ways, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on that in this video, but it's so critical to have that awareness to kick in, and as you're training your awareness, it's not going to kick in as immediately as like when I was in the shower and the thought, first of all, the feelings happen. You feel sad because you don't really notice the thoughts. The thoughts are like ghosts. They're very transparent and they're very hard to identify. But the feelings are way more easier to identify. So for me, it was the feeling that I identified. I identified sadness. Oh, sad. Why am I sad? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm thinking, okay, oh, okay. I'm comparing. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that is better than me washing my hair right now. But, you know, that will be done again. We're going to have more amazing times in the future. And then I start to think about how lucky I am to be in the shower, how lucky I am to have a shower, how lucky I am to have all this amazing hair that I can just, all right, you get the point, right? So I'm applying several techniques there. I'm applying gratitude, I'm applying counterbalancing, right? And above all, I'm applying awareness. Awareness is what's driving me out of that thought pattern, okay? Because the sad fact is that a lot of emotions like sadness and depression, we actually enjoy. Okay? That's the truth, is that a lot of people enjoy that. It feels good sometimes to just be sad and to cry and, to be depressed. It feels good sometimes to be angry. It feels good, So sometimes when the sadness arises, we're like, it's just stimulation, isn't it? It's another form of stimulation, and it stimulates something within us. And it's okay, being sad, there's nothing wrong with it. But remember balance. Remember, it has a purpose. And maybe for me, the thought arises for a reason. I haven't been with my brother for a long time, I haven't talked to him for a long time. And perhaps the uh, purpose of it is for me to pick up the phone, give my brother a call, or to contact him. Okay, maybe he's been in my mind. Haven't heard from him in a while. So there's always a constructive purpose. Our body is an incredible, complex. Um, I don't know what the word for it is, but it's like it's one of the most complex pieces of technology that we are aware of in this universe. We are one of the most complex pieces of technology, biological technology, but technology nonetheless. And there is all kinds of stuff happening within us. We just have to learn how to pilot this incredible vessel that we have. I was just thinking, I'm going to wrap it up now, but the other day I was looking at a seed and I was thinking, Apple, Google, all these technology companies, you know, we look at them and they're so incredible what they're doing with their microprocessors. But has anything come close to like a little black round thing that you put in the ground and you add water to it, and all of a sudden it will turn into this thing that will produce fruit? I mean, that tiny little seed, the technology, just the amount of power that's within that is just incredible. So think of what we are capable of. All right, so remember, suffering comes from comparing. So when you feel sad, when you feel angry, when you feel empty, depressed, whatever, anxious, remember it's thoughts. So try to train yourself to catch those thoughts. And yeah, for me, I'm able to do it quicker now because I've been aware of all of this for longer and I've been practicing it every day. It's a part of my life. But when I started, it would maybe take me sometimes up to 5 or even 10 minutes to realize. Especially when you're going through very difficult times and you're being hijacked by these thoughts. Maybe 10 minutes into it, you'll be like, oh my God, I've just spent the last 10 minutes thinking about, this or that, right? And that's okay, because just being aware, even if it is after 10 minutes, is incredible. All right, it's a sign that your awareness is there. And then you just need to strengthen it. All right, and I've talked in a lot of my videos about how we strengthen it, and that's what I do with my, in my sessions, in my training sessions, with all my incredible people that I've worked with and I am working with right now. And that's all we do. We just train, we train our awareness. We're constantly keeping our focus in the right area until it becomes habit. And when it becomes habit, then the amount of work we have to do and effort we have to do just drastically drops, and it just becomes an instinct. But it takes practice at first. It's like riding a bike, it's like driving your car. You don't think about it anymore. But at first, you had to think about it, right? And it was a bit awkward and weird, and you had to put in your time. So you have to put in your time, people, all right? If you want to be able to master your life, if you want to be able to take control of things, if you want to be able to guide yourself towards opportunities and success, happiness, health, strength, all of these things take some work. And the way that I have figured it out for myself is how to do it in the least amount of work. What are the most effective things to do so that I can focus on them and see the most uh, gains and results. So it's kind of like going to the gym, and I've picked out my favorite exercises that I think are the most important. And that's what I focus on. Yeah, there's probably way more exercises that I'm not doing that I could do to even maximize, my potential more. But for me, I'm growing slowly and I'm not in a rush, and I don't want to, I'm pacing myself through life because I find this process fun and exciting and interesting. And I like that I'm not doing everything right now, that everything isn't perfect, because I like being able to make improvements. When you make improvements, you feel good, you feel like you're growing. But if I was doing everything right right now, then it's going to be harder for me to find more room for growth. And personally, I need that growth, and I think we all do as humans. And a lot of us can hit a place of depression and emptiness and loneliness and sadness because we we wind up doing too much and not allowing enough space and time to digest, things that we're learning, and leave room for growth. Okay. All right, everyone. So I hope this helps. And yeah, hit me up if you have any questions or interested in doing some coaching. Um, I'm probably going to be honest and say that um, I'm probably going to be increasing my rates because I've been charging quite, um, I just wanted to, at first, when I started doing these videos, like I had this just wanted to create something like a journal, right? Just get all these things out so that I can have them somewhere that I can remember. And then started getting emails, people asking me a lot of questions, and I spent maybe 4 or 5 months doing that until it started getting a bit crazy and difficult to respond to everyone. Um, and then I started charging a little bit, you know, for sessions, private coaching sessions, and now I'm getting more and more, but I want to keep it low. I want to be able to, like, because it's incredible. I get to talk to so many people, and I learn as well. But I want to be able to do this, and you know, I wouldn't be able to do it if it was just, I can't do it if it's going to be just, I'll spend all day just on, chatting to people, and then I'll wind up uh, probably with a very different background to this. So yeah, I have my work as well, and so I'm going to go now do my other job, which is uh, running my business, my label, and I'm sending everyone out there power. And if you have questions or if you're interested in doing some training, working with me, hit me up. Otherwise, remember, yeah, everything that I talk about with my clients, everything, it's all in these videos. So just if I were you guys, like I would have a journal anyway, and I would make notes of things that you feel connect with you, that work for you, that and then try them out. The important thing is to do stuff. There's plenty of people out there who have read tons of books, who have tons of knowledge, who aren't doing anything with it. It's all good to be able to know that, oh, okay, I should be doing push-ups, I should be doing squats, I should be doing pull-ups, I should be eating this and this. It's all good to know all of this, but are you doing any of it? Right? You have to do it. It's better that you know less but are doing more than to know more and be doing very little. Okay? So just do something, whether it's just 3 gratefuls before bed or doing counterbalancing or, you know, whatever. All right? All right. I'll talk to you guys soon, and I hope everyone is feeling good, and keep your focus, train your focus. All right? All right. Talk to you guys soon. Adios. Bye.